There we are.
Thunder fans, what's up? OKC Thunder improved to 7-0 with a win 102-86 over the Orlando Magic. A game where the Oklahoma City Thunder guys, again, 5 guys in double figures tonight. It wasn't the 5 starters this time, but 5 guys in double figures. And OKC continues to shine on the defensive side as well, holding Orlando to 86 points. Another great win in a game that I don't think people are shocked that OKC won. But this one kind of from the get-go never got really even questionable.
Yeah, Jalen Williams, what a start for him in the first quarter. Starting 6 of 7, 14 points, just like that. Chet Holmgren also had 2 blocks within the first few minutes of the game. And if Oklahoma City didn't allow a decent-sized run from the Magic in that third quarter, you're talking about the Magic not even getting 80 points tonight. That's how good the Oklahoma City defense was. So, yeah, what a game. 5 players, over in the double digits, and you had Dub and SGA over that 20-point mark.
SGA with 9 assists again. Second or third game he's had 9 assists. I mean, his assist numbers are up, I think, pretty significantly. And then, guys, Isaiah Joe seems like he's going to be the guy providing that constant offense off the bench. Caruso did have 5 assists in the game as he came off the bench. But, yeah, Isaiah Joe was good. Wiggins was really good off the bench tonight. Yeah. Jay,
Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah, we can.
Can you hear me?
Talk.
Well, I'm having a bad connection. I can barely hear you. Hear you.
Okay, I'll yell louder, Jay.
No, you don't need to be louder. I just hear a lot of mumbling.
What's up, man?
But let me see if I can fix my connection. Hang on.
Yeah, hey, you're right, Hunter. 86 points, of course. This was without a Orlando Magic team that did not have their best player. So I think that has to be taken into consideration. Banchero not being on the floor is a massive loss for the Magic. But OKC did exactly what they needed to do, improving to 7-0. I'll tell you, the Cleveland Cavaliers, another nail-biter, buzzer, close contest against the Milwaukee Bucks. 2 undefeated still, guys.
Yeah, and Oklahoma City, again, talked about it Saturday night of the tweet I saw from Thunder Focus, first team in NBA history to start the season with 5 wins by 12 points or more. They're now at 7. Like, these games aren't even close. The Thunder are dominating. Again, not a great night, shooting-wise in the second half, especially for the Thunder. They still shot 38.7% from beyond the arc. I mean, if they can consistently do that like they are, they're going to win a lot of basketball games.
Clement dropping in some stats here. And maybe, Hunter, you can find when OKC matches up against Cleveland Cavaliers. But Clement says, defense again takes center stage as we hold the Magic. It's only 35% from the field and 5 of 34 from 3, forced 19 Magic turnovers. Offense was up and down, great in the first quarter, spotty in the later. Yeah, it was spotty. Hey, but that's the deal, Clement. If you are an elite defensive team, you can have spurts on offense where you struggle. You cannot afford that if you're not a good defensive team. OKC in the past has not been elite defensively, and they had spurts where they couldn't score. I think you're going to see less of those on offense, but the defense is going to be there to pick them up if they do have those droughts.
Yeah, real quick on the Cleveland question. Thunder's not playing Cleveland until January. They play them twice in a week span. So going to be a bit before you see that matchup. And honestly, I think with the Cavaliers, they're not going to be sitting top the East at that point in time.
Sooner Freak 29 says, who's going to beat the Thunder? They're better prepared than last year. Well, they're better prepared. They have more pieces they have some missing puzzle pieces that they were missing last year. And they're older, a year more experience. They're going to be tough to beat in a 7-game series. But What's your
Hey.
overreaction takeaway from this game?
Well, first, can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. To answer that question about who's going to beat them, they're going to slip up some games. They're going to lose some games throughout the year. But here's the thing with kind of an overreaction I would take from it too is I don't even know if it's an overreaction. It's just this team cannot even play that well and beat you by 10 or 12 points. I just think like tonight, second half, I mean, what they end up scoring, maybe 48, 50 points. They didn't play that well second half, and they still win by what? 16 points, whatever it was, 14, 12, whatever it is, 16 points. So that's what they can do. They have, if one guy's off, they got other guys that can step it up. So
I've got a hot take.
And their defense is going to be there. I mean, I think 7 games now. I know it's not 72 games, okay, 82 games, whatever. But it's 7 games, so you can say, okay, it's been very consistent. They've been very consistent on the defensive side. I don't see that changing. I just don't.
Hey, Tyler's right. No egos, and it is very rare for this time and generation. It's very refreshing. Hey, I've got a really hot take overreaction. Here it is. SGA will be MVP. Mark Dagnall will be Coach of the Year. Chet Holmgren will be Defensive Player of the Year. And Isaiah Joe will be Sixth Man of the Year. Anything else? There's your overreaction of the night. No one will top that.
That's very fitting, Joe. It's fitting.
Yeah. I don't think Chet can win Defensive Player of the Year.
Really?
I mean, if he continued to do what he's doing right now, he's going to be up there, Joe.
He'll be up there. I don't think they'd give it to him. And I say that based on go look at the past previous years. Lou Dort hasn't even made an all-defensive team. Okay? There's something about it.
They also they go off stats a lot on that. Like that, I think that's the big reason why Dort is not all NBA is because the stats. He's not recording the steals as much, blocks, all that. So I mean, he locks up anyone he plays, Dortcher Chamber, but it's statistically speaking in terms of the main stats in basketball, he's not.
Did you guys know this? Did you know this stat? Where did he go? Did you know this stat?
I assumed so, yes, because they won 5 in a row by 12 or more. So yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, I did not know that stat. Excellent overreaction. Jackson knew that stat.
Hey, the thing about how about this question? When's the first game they don't win by more than 10 points?
I'll say Wednesday.
Wednesday night against the Nuggets?
That game is in OKC, though.
I thought it was in Denver.
They just played in Denver last week.
I know. I just, for some reason, I thought that game was Denver. I may be wrong. Hey, let me ask you guys this in the chat. What's that, Hunter?
It's in Denver.
That's what I thought. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I thought it was Denver. I didn't want to act like I was right all the time.
No,
but
they go to Denver, and then it's a very long home stretch, possibly the longest of the season, 6 straight home games.
Yeah. Let me ask the ones in the chat this. When Hartenstein comes back, which is probably going to be, I'm guessing, maybe around game 20-ish, maybe. Maybe when Hartenstein's back.
Game 22 from what ESPN.
Okay. So let's talk about this. Game 22, what is their record when Hartenstein's back?
I'll say 18-4.
I'll go 19-3.
I'm going to go 19-3 as well, Joe.
And I'd love to know in the chat, or if you want to call in and tell us your opinion, or you can put it in the chat, either one. What do you think? Anybody think it's going to be better than 19-3, which is that's a great start to this season. Jeez. But I think it'd be interesting to see what people think on that.
Hey,
18-4.
Better defender. They're both really good, but if it's a game-winning shot, it's Lou Dort every time.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll say this: I've watched NBA basketball a long time. 22-0, Joseph, love it. I don't you don't see a whole lot of guys that do what Caruso does on the defensive side. And what I mean by that, go watch him. If he gets beat on like trying to make a block, the guy will have him beat to the hole. His footwork, he always moves his body and gets in front of him. It's amazing. The guy moves his body like textbook defense, like what you would teach growing up. It's like get your body, move your feet, get in front of him, don't reach. I mean, he's so textbook on defense. It's unbelievable. I just what a pickup.
What did he have? 2 points tonight?
No, he made a 3 tonight. Which, by the way, do you know what he's shooting on the year behind the 3-point line this year going into this game? Take a guess. Take a guess.
60%.
12%.
Yeah, 12.5 is what he's at.
And he's a career like 40% shooter from 3. So
yeah,
he hasn't got it going yet. So and it hasn't really mattered, but it will matter in the playoffs, I promise you, because you will have teams start to maybe sag off on him if he still continues to not hit it. He'll start hitting it. I'm not worried about it.
If teams are leaving Caruso open, it's start the parade now. Like,
what is his plus minus, Hunter?
Tonight it was +10.
But what is it you think for the year? It's way up there. It's I mean, who isn't though for Thunder? Everybody's got to have a positive plus minus for the Thunder almost right now, don't they?
Where do you see like the? I'm not sure where you find the overall.
Hunter, is it dropped in here the link yet or not?
Oh, my bad. It is not.
I'll drop it in.
I got it.
There
I'm
it
on
is.
it right.
I already dropped it. There it is, Jackson. Final record prediction. All right, you ready for mine? I'm going to go 67-15.
It's high, Jeb.
I don't care. I'm going 67-15. What's yours, Hunter?
64-18.
So I'm 3 games higher. Something much.
65-17, Bob.
What do you guys say in the chat? What do you got? Mad Games, what do you got? Final record prediction. Call-ins are open. Phone lines are open. 70 games, what he says, 70-12. Gosh, that'd be an amazing year. 60
it won't matter if you don't win the finals, Jay.
It absolutely won't, Jeremy. You're right. It does not matter. You're right about that.
So
68-14. He's close to my prediction there. I think that's high 60s, mid 60s probably would be a guesstimate for most people probably.
If you go mid 60s, you're the number 1 seed in the West anyway. So
yeah, true.
And you got to understand it. If they have the number 1 seed wrapped up, they're not going to keep playing guys late in the year.
I don't know. I think these guys love to play ball. They won't play him as much.
That's what Plate and 20 says too. You got to rest some guys, lose some.
82-0. Gotta love that. Hot take right here. I genuinely rather watch Giddey take floaters than watch Shai spam pull up threes.
No,
not at all.
I'll take the pull up threes all day.
I'm giddy that I'm not watching Giddey take floaters. Okay.
But are you happy?
I'm giddy. Okay, Jeremy. I'm not watching Giddey take floaters. Phone lines are open. You see the link in there, Jackson. Phone lines are open, buddy. What else, guys?
Who would you I compared some of what I see on offense to San Antonio's great elite kind of dynasty teams. But who would you compare this team defensively to?
In recent years?
Yeah, I mean, you got a shot blocker. You've got just a lot of dudes, just dog defenders, one-on-one. They go pretty deep defensively.
I'm trying to think. I mean, Golden State never really had a guy like this down low that could block shots like this. I mean, their best center in those years was what, Bogut?
I guess.
If that. Hey, we got a caller on the line. We got Jackson. Jackson's on the line. What's up?
What's up, boys?
What's
Guys,
up?
I said it in the chat. I'm going to continue to say it every single Thunder game. I think this defense has a chance to finish top 10 of the 2010s of all time by the end of the year. I think they're that good.
Top 10 of what?
Top 10 of the 2010s.
Over the last 10 years?
Yeah, or you could say since the start of 2010, 2011 NBA season.
All right, who's the top 3 defenses of the 2010s?
I don't know.
Well, I mean,
But
I'm just throwing it out there. Like,
I'm looking at it right now.
I'm going to say this. The Lakers, when they had Kobe and Shaq, were elite.
I thought Milwaukee, the year with Giannis, I thought they were pretty good.
Well, I'm thinking the Grizzlies with Conley and Zach Randolph and Tony Allen. I wonder.
Oh, what year was that?
Early 2000s, wasn't it?
No, that I think that was in the 2010s. But
early 2010s. That was like 2011 to the 2014 mark. I mean, the Thunder had that all-timer series against the Grizzlies in that time.
That's
frame.
right.
I just think the Milwaukee Bucks defense when they won the championship was pretty good. I think Boston, when you go look at Boston when they had that was probably too early though. I mean, that's probably too early, so I can't go with that one. Yeah, you can't go with Bulls or Rodman. That's way too early.
No. I just think that what we're seeing the Thunder do right now defensively, we haven't seen a ton over the last 5 or 6 years of the NBA, and I think we can all agree with that because the NBA shifted more towards an offensive game.
It has, and I don't know if Hunter, I don't know if you can look it up, but when's the last time, and maybe it's more than I thought, but that a team has allowed low 90s for the year?
I'm not sure on the low 90s, but the last time a team had a sub defensive rating of less than 100 was
Miami Heat.
No, 2016 Spurs.
Oh well, and Hunter, I don't know if you could find this out, but I saw or heard a stat somewhere that the Thunder's defensive rating is like 20.6 above the league average right now. 20.6, their defensive rating. I don't know if that's points or advancement metrics. I don't know exactly what all that entails, but
yeah, they're elite defensively.
And I don't know how long they're going to be able to sustain it through the whole season. Obviously, there's going to be points where the Thunder are going to get in higher scoring games, and like you guys have said, they're going to lose some games where they might allow a lot of points to defenses on that night. But the defense is something that they can carry into the playoffs, I think, for a 7-game series if maybe their offense isn't hitting on all cylinders.
Yeah. Hey, Clayton 20 says Memphis Grizzlies.
See you guys.
See you, Jackson.
Thanks, Jackson. Memphis Grizzlies. I think Jackson has continually been the first caller every night, keeping the streak alive, the undefeated streak, just like the Thunder. Average opponent score is 89. Before that, Clayton says you'd have to go all the way back to the 2004 Pistons. Now, would that have been with Rip Hamilton?
Yes. Yes. Good stuff, Clayton. Good stuff.
Who was the lefty from Kentucky?
Prince.
Yeah.
Tayshaun Prince.
Rip Hamilton.
He had a funky looking shot, bro. Gosh. He was weird looking.
They were great defensively. They were long.
Billups, Ben Wallace.
Chauncey. Yep.
Great team.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. Yep, they allowed less than 100. Colin says 3.8. The league average defensive rating is 113.1. The margin of 19.3 would be the greatest in the NBA.
And there's
history.
a lot of greatest in NBA history stuff.
Correct. And going to this game, the Thunder were averaging 21. You mean getting 21 turnovers? I'm assuming.
They haven't turned it over 21 times a game.
I think you might be saying they've been averaging getting 21 turnovers.
I think forced turnovers is there.
Which, by the way, offensively, I don't have it in front of me, but how many points they're getting off turnovers is a bunch. Easy layups, easy run out, stuff like that.
Hey, curious on your guys' thoughts on this because Adil Khan says, I miss those days defenses used to play so hard. Do you think and I get OKC is very talented. They're gifted. They're long, they're athletic. They got all the pieces of the puzzle. But do you think that part of the reason they're so good defensively is they just have a care mentality?
They are wanting to be the best. I think that's part of it. I think the other thing is this. They're young. I think that has a lot to do with it too. They're young, most of them. Now, not Caruso, but they got guys on this team like Caruso, Dort, Case, and Wallace. Those three guys, they care more about defense than they do offense. So when you have that type of mentality on your team, you care more about defensively than offensively. It's going to contribute to a great defensive unit. I mean, it just is.
Hey,
And Dort's probably hiring a kite thinking, thank God I don't have to do this by myself. I got all this help around me now. It's great for him.
Hunter, let's do something real quick tonight. Let's look at the KD, Harden, Westbrook team. You also had Ibaka on that team. You also had Cephalosha on that team, guys.
So are we talking about the finals team?
Let's go to the finals team and kind of go starter versus starter. But I believe that finals team had Cephalosha, right?
I believe you're right.
I mean, that's a good defensive team, guys. The problem was they took a lot of
was on that team.
They took a lot of possessions off.
Well, Jerm, you can't compare that team. Do you know why?
No, I know.
That team was not even close to this team guard-wise defensively.
I can compare whoever I want to compare, Jay.
But Jerm, they weren't close to this team guard-wise. I don't think. I mean,
I would agree with that, Jed.
Russell Westbrook could defend when he wanted to. He didn't always do it.
That's what I said. They took possessions off.
Yeah. KD wasn't a great defender.
I mean, would you take Ibaka or Chet defensively right now?
I mean, if you're looking at the whole body of work, I think Chet.
And Ibaka was really good.
Yeah. I just think the versatility that Chet offers. I mean, outside of just defensively, I mean, Ibaka was great, but one of the best defenders. That's why they called him Ibaka. And it also could stretch the floor. The corner threes were money for him, but just nowhere near the versatility that Chet has. I mean, Chet can do it all.
And the difference, I think, in these two teams is 3-point defense too. That team allowed they would allow teams to torch them from the outside. I mean, we haven't seen it yet this year. So, I mean, Portland got hot the other night, but you can't contain what they were.
Haven't played a great 3-point shooting team yet.
Correct. They play the Warriors coming up. That'll be interesting because they are lighting it up offensively. Thunder's play Nuggets next. What's your thoughts? I think the Thunder get them. I do. I don't think I originally said I think the Thunder lose this game. I just don't think they do. I think they win on Wednesday. What do you guys think?
I mean,
the Nuggets.
I think it's hard to beat Denver two times in a row at Denver. Obviously, but I do think that OKC's got the advantage in a lot of positions. Look, Denver lost some key guys. They lost Caldwell Pope. You have Christian Braun starting over there. I just think that I'm not sold on Denver, Jay.
I think they got some issues. I would agree with you.
Yeah, I was going to pick the Nuggets. I think I said that really after Paulo went down for the Magic. As I said before, that this would be the one that the first loss of the season for the Thunder, but no Paulo, no problem for OKC. The Nuggets right now are struggling. 3-3. They're down 7 as we speak right now, or now 9 at home to the Raptors. It's not a good team.
They got issues, Hunter. The Nuggets have issues.
They can't shoot the 3-ball. It's bad. I mean, Jokic can only do so much. I think you're starting to see the guys that they've lost over the last few years that were perfect puzzle pieces for them. So, yeah, I got the Thunder Wednesday night.
Yeah, I think Thunder win. And, looking at the Western Conference, Thunder, to me right now, 3 teams that I'm thinking, okay, these 3 teams are, I'd say, the top of the West. I think you got the Thunder. I think you got the Suns. And I think you got the Mavs. I think those 3 teams, in my opinion, down the stretch, those will be your top 3.
Are you not sold on the Timberwolves?
No. I think the Towns trade's going to end up hurting them.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jeff.
Well,
I
I got
don't
the
get it.
Suns. I got Suns and Mavs ahead of me now, and I got the Lakers about fourth. I think the Lakers about fourth.
Hunter, how ironic and just how awful would that be if Minnesota, were to like make the finals without Karl Anthony Towns, a guy who basically gave everything he had to that city, and then they trade him. He leaves, goes to New York, and then the Wolves make it. That would be
Hey,
just
it
a
would be
horrible.
bad. You know, it would be worse as a Thunder fan to get ousted in the Western Suns.
Oh yeah, if
What
the
was that,
Suns,
Brad?
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? That would be
yeah,
awful. That'd be
I
awful.
don't. I do not want that to happen as a Sun fan. I mean, as a Thunder fan.
No way. No way. No chance. That'd be awful. But they got talent all over the place in Phoenix. I mean, if they put it together,
Yeah,
they're good. And the Mavs, I think Mavs are good. So it's gonna be interesting.
it is. You got Wednesday night, guys. Wednesday night, OKC versus Denver at Denver. But tonight, OKC gets it done, beating the Orlando Magic by a score of 102-86. Guys, closing thoughts.
Just another performance that they win by double digits, and it's another game where you really never thought that this game was going to be in question, and that's hard to believe that 7 games in and they really haven't been tested. Maybe that's the thing I'm waiting to see is what happens when this team gets tested. By the way, last year, if y'all didn't know this, number 1 in the NBA in closing out games, Thunder were, which is games decided by 5 points or less. They were number 1 in the league. So they can close it. They just haven't had the chance to do it this year.
I mean, they almost have at times. Saw it Saturday night. The game got a
It's
little
just too
close.
early, third
They
quarter.
were trailing, and they just take over in the fourth. So yeah, they haven't gotten to that closing 5-point margin yet. And I mean, the way they're playing might be a while before you see that. Honestly, seems playing some good basketball right now, and not even at full strength yet. It's great times of Thunder basketball ahead.
Yeah, and Brett said he was there tonight, and Caruso not as effective. I think he had just the one basket. He did have 5 assists, partly because Isaiah Joe has been elite off the bench, and the bench is very deep, Brett. That is correct. Cavs undefeated at 8-0. Thunder undefeated at 7-0. Thanks, everybody, for joining us here tonight on Thunder Forum Live. We'll be back again at it on Wednesday night as the Thunder will take on the Denver Nuggets in Denver. Until next time, Thunder Nation.